Hey guys, it's Tixie here and welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I'm going to be branching out and bringing you the first bit of CDL content on my channel, where I'm going to be giving you guys my predictions for the 2022 Call of Duty League season. So as you can see in the background, I've put together my own tier template within Photoshop, mainly because I just feel like the tier website is always full of adverts and that annoys me. Before anyone gives me any beef for being on the ancient Adobe Photoshop CS2, don't bother, CS2 is goated and I won't be told otherwise. Anyways guys, what I'm going to do is in reverse order, I'm going to bring the teams onto the screen, put them into the tier that I think they belong in, and at the end of the video I'll bring up another page that just sort of says 1st to 12, so it's a little bit easy to see where I've ranked them, and basically I'm going to put them in the order of which I think they'll be at the end of the regular season going into champs. So without further ado, let's get into the ranking. Right guys, so we're kicking it off with the team that I think are going to be 12th at the end of the regular season, and that is the London Royal Ravens. So I'm going to be placing them into the C tier. Just quickly though, to let anybody know who's maybe never seen a tier list before, basically S is like the top tier, like top teams who I think are the best teams, and obviously it goes down to A, B or C. I've only done 4 categories because I feel like the teams are quite close this year, but I just wanted to cover that off before we got any further in the video. So yeah, London Royal Ravens down in the C category, as I think they're going to be the team that are going to be 12th and last at the end of the regular season. Obviously the team consisting of Afro, Gizmo, Nasty and Zero. Probably, if I'm honest, the team that I know the least about. I think that Afro looked very good at times in the latter part of Cold War, and I expect him to be the main man here again. Obviously lost 3-0 at the Kickoff Classic to Seattle Surge, however. Map 1 and 2 weren't really whitewashes, unlike the game on Control. I think it was on Tuscan, where they got 3-0'd, I believe, and Seattle just took total control of that map. But yeah, I'm really excited to watch this team and learn a lot more about them throughout the year, and hopefully their 2022 season can be more successful than their 2021 season. Right, so next up guys, and the team that I think are going to be 11th are the other team that really struggled in 2021, and that is the Paris Legion, who are also going to be put into the C category, and these are the only 2 teams I'm including in C, so I'll just move London Royal Ravens up a little bit to make that look a little bit neater. But yeah, Paris Legion obviously consistent of Decimate, Fellow, John and Temp this year. Obviously, like I said, it was a really disappointing season for them in 2021 and only keeping Temp for 2022. Bringing in the experience there of John along with Fellow and the rookie Decimate, who looked good at times in Cold War when he kind of substituted in for people. They didn't look brilliant against the Los Angeles Thieves at the Kickoff Classic, but they did manage to take Map 3, the control game. I think with this roster, I do expect Paris to be a little bit more competitive than they were last year, but will it be enough to lift them out of the bottom places? Only time will tell. Okay guys, so the next team up, the team that I think are going to be 10th, and the first team that are going into what is going to be a very packed out B category is LAG, the Los Angeles Guerrillas. 2021 was a very disappointing season for LAG, and they've gone with a completely new roster for 2022. I feel like on paper this team is absolutely full of talent, with the ever-experienced and former world champion Slasher being joined by Gunless, Hook and Asim, who had a really good season with NYSL in 2021, and I feel like Hook has got a lot to prove as well after the sort of issues and problems he had in 2021 after looking like one of the best players at the start of the year. The Kickoff Classic wasn't great for them, but I feel like this team does have a lot of potential if they can get it all together, and really excited to see what they can do this year. Right, next up, and the team that I think are going to be 9th at the end of the season are the Florida Mutineers. Now, I think 2022 is a big year for the Mutineers. They've got plenty of talent, and especially with the chemistry between Skies and Awakening, I feel like we always maybe expected them to do a little bit more last year on Cold War. Bringing in Vivid and the rookie, is it Dave Paddy? I'm not really sure what people call him. But expectations are definitely better this year, I think, than they were last year. I personally, myself, I can't see the Mutineers really challenging, but I do hope that I'm wrong, because they're a team that I like, and they're a team that I would like to see do well. So it's the Mutineers coming in at 9th. Okay, next up guys, and the team that I think are going to be 8th are the new team for 2022, and that is the Boston Breach. So obviously new into the league for 2022 after the merger of Optic and Dallas left a spot open, captained by the ever-experienced Methods and joined by TJ Hardy as well, who also brings a lot of experience, and Nero and Capsidel. And Capsidel, a rookie for this year, looking really good at points during the Kickoff Classic once he kind of got to grips with things. It's always hard to tell, I think, with a new roster how they're going to go, but they did look quite good at the Kickoff Classic, and for me, they're only going to get better the more games they play and the more time they have together. So really looking forward and excited to see what the new team Boston Breach can do in 2022. Right, the next team to join the Evergrande B category and the team that I think are going to finish 7th this season in the regular year are Minnesota Rocker. So Minnesota are a very strange team. They had a very so-so 2021 season. They didn't really do that much, but did pull off that incredible comeback against Toronto Ultra to win Major 5. The team is packed full of talent with the ever-experienced Attach, Major, Maniac and Priester, along with one of the standout rookies in the 2021 season, Standy. Rocker struggled a bit at the Kickoff Classic when it came to the objective side of things. I think it was the Bocage map and the Gavutu map where they outslayed NYSL, but NYSL still ended up winning both of those maps. For me, they've got the potential to challenge Minnesota if they can get it all together, and they are a team that I do want to see do well. I just think they've got to make sure they don't get caught up in a daze like they did in Cold War, where they were kind of in the middle of the pack, not really challenging, but not really the worst team ever. So it's Minnesota in at number 7. Okay guys, the next team and the final team to go into the B category, and the team that I think are going to finish 6th, are the Seattle Surge. So I can now pull everybody along and neaten this up a little bit. Now, some people might say I'm going a little bit early on Seattle Surge. Obviously, they had a really poor 2021 season and have gone for a completely new roster in 2022, featuring the return of the ever-experienced Iceman Accuracy, who they've built around bringing in Mac, who had a solid 2021 season with NYSL, and rookies Sib/Pred. Now, there's been a lot of talk about Pred, and I feel like there was definitely a lot of expectation on him coming into the new season, but they were definitely the surprise of the Kickoff Classic, because Seattle obviously got to the final. They just fell apart in map 4 of the final up against Toronto Ultra. Other than that though, I think this team really did look the real deal, and although it may seem keen to instantly fire them in as a top 6 team, I think it's backed up, and only time will tell whether I'm getting ahead of myself or if I'm actually talking some kind of sense. So Seattle Surge coming in at number 6. Okay guys, so we move into the top 5. And kicking us off as the first of 3 teams to go into the A category are the Los Angeles Thieves. So it really is shaping up to be a great season with so many great rosters. Obviously LA Thieves bringing in Octane and Envoy over the winter period to build a really solid looking team along with Draza and Kenny. They easily dispatched of Optic at the Kickoff Classic and looked like a really solid outfit, and I think you could easily argue that they probably shouldn't have lost to Toronto Ultra. They should have just won that hardpoint game and put Ultra out 3-1. Obviously ended up losing 3-2 in the end, but I do fully expect LA Thieves to be a big contender this year, and I've got them in at position 5. Okay guys, the next team into the A category, and the team I think are going to finish 4th, are NYSL, the New York Subliners, who at points in 2021, I think looked like they could be dangerous, but in the end, I just don't think they quite had the roster to get it over the line. Another star-studded lineup though for 2022, with former world champions Clayster and Crimsix rejoining up with 2 of the best youngsters on the scene at the moment in Hydra and Neptune. Hydra was a standout performer in his 2021 rookie season, whilst obviously Neptune showed lots of promise on the Florida Mutineers. NYSL, like I said, knocked on the door a few times in 2021, but will 2022 be the year where they can compete with the experienced/youngster lineup? Next up guys, and the final team going into the A category are the ever popular Optic Texas. So it was a very disappointing season in 2021 for the then Optic Chicago, and the big news over the off-season was the merger between Optic Chicago and Dallas Empire, which combined one of the best duos in Shotzi and Illy, with Dashi, who I think is one of the best players in the game on his day, and the King Scump, who does not need any introduction to create a very deadly lineup. Tipped to go on and challenge after dominating the off-season, Optic were beaten comfortably by Los Angeles Thieves in the Kickoff Classic. I don't think it's time to worry yet. This lineup has got huge potential, and I know expectations are going to be really, really high for them, but the pressure of the green wall will always be looming. Can Optic deliver in 2022? Okay guys, next up, and the first of only 2 teams going into the S category, and the team that I think are going to finish 2nd in the regular season are Toronto Ultra. So they were kind of the surprise package of 2021. I think they took everyone by surprise when they won Major 2 last season up against Atlanta FaZe. But from that point onwards, they were incredibly competitive and consistent for the rest of the season. There was a lot of talk about they could only do it online. Then they went to LAN and they were just as competitive. They made the final at Champs and unfortunately lost out to FaZe. Running it back again with the same team this year. Pre-season did seem a little bit shaky, but they turned up and won the Kickoff Classic, and I feel like they've got brilliant team chemistry of Bance, Cammy, Kleenex and Insight, and I feel like this team is only going to get better from here, and I think Ultra could be real contenders in 2022, and they're going to want redemption for last season. But at the end of the day, there was nothing wrong with losing out to FaZe in that final, because FaZe dominated the Cold War season, but you know Ultra are going to be out for revenge in 2022. Okay guys, last but not least, and going straight to the top of the S tier, and the team that I think will finish first in the regular season this year are Atlanta FaZe. So they need no introduction. Defending champions, absolutely dominated the Cold War season, and as expected are running it back with the same team of Abizi, Arcetes, Celium and Simp. I think they will be challenged more this season, and I think that will be good for the CDL for it to be a little bit closer this year, because they did kind of run away with it at times last year. However, I don't think that a poor Kickoff Classic should mean they can't be predicted as being top with this absolutely stellar roster. You know they're going to come back fighting, all guns blazing, and you know Kickoff Classic was a bit rusty, but you know there's lots of Call of Duty to be played this year, and yeah, really excited to see how this season is going to pan out. But for me, FaZe are going to be on top. So that's going to do it for today's video, guys. We'll just bring up first to 12th now in a different document, just to make it a little bit clearer. This is where I think the teams are going to be at the end of the regular year going into Call of Duty Champs. I was a little bit nervous about doing this content, but I'm glad that I've gone through with it and put it out. You know, I've massively got back into the Call of Duty League the last year or so, and I felt like I wanted to touch on some CDL content just to expand the channel a bit more as well. So I really hope that you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you have, please do hit the like button down below and let me know down in the comments, do you agree, disagree, you know, what have I done right, what have I done wrong, where would you change it? Let me know down in the comment section, and it'll be exciting to see what all of our predictions look like come the end of the year, to see whether we were completely on or completely off. So yeah guys, and if you're brand new around here and want to find your way back for more, please do consider subscribing to the channel. The plans are to do a little bit more CDL content around the majors as well as the year goes on, and definitely sort of look back at this later in the year, and also some Call of Duty Champs predictions, I'm sure, when the time comes. So that just leaves me to say, guys, that I hope everyone has a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.